Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to our Tekkit Legends 25-25-25 challenge, where the challenge ended 25 episodes ago, and we keep going for some reason. No real explanation as to why. We're just persevering on. A lot has changed since that first episode. Do y'all remember way back 61 episodes ago, I think it was, when we found this little town, and I ran out the natives? I didn't kill them all. Contrary to popular belief, I didn't. I only killed most of them. The rest of them probably died from zombie, skeleton, and creeper attacks. No, I only killed the ones that went in my house, which is, by the way, a lot nicer now than it used to be. Look, we felt bad about that. We felt bad about what we did to the village, so we rebuilt it, and I gotta say, it's better now than it was before. Okay, before it was just this open village that any monster could walk into and start consuming, people's faces, and we fixed that problem. That doesn't happen anymore. You got these beautiful razor wire fences here to keep everyone safe. You got this thing that crackles when you walk through it now, so only the living can pass through. No spiders, no zombies, no skeletons. Enderman could still pop in there, but we're not going to worry about those guys. They're pretty rare. And really, if you don't mess with them, they don't mess with you, so no big threat. So, I mean, they've got this big, beautiful water tower. There's much nicer houses now than there used to be. I think that, look, we've given them power. They have an immense amount of power here in the power grid. In the danger you'll die. Yeah, don't mess with it, kids. Don't mess with it. They got a water tower that looks like a tree, and they have the potential of a beautiful Christmas. Where they can bring in all of the surrounding villages. A lot of them are off that way. We found them in a previous episode. They can come over here, and they can make big money off of that. And they've got a mailbox now. We have done so much good for this little community that I don't even feel bad for killing literally dozens of the local residents and stealing one of their houses for an extended period of time. Because I think that what we've done is more than made up for it. However, there's some weird things going on in this town. And Russians and robots, and the mayor is sketch, and there's still some people missing. I'm assuming the village will sort of fill up as time passes. Or maybe we have to make stories for everyone before they'll come into existence. Maybe that's not how that works. I don't know how all of this works. I don't know where these people are coming from. What I do know is that it's time for this series to end, and yet it won't. And I'm trying to figure out how we're going to move forward. So this week, I had intended to continue making 2 videos a day every day, like I've done since the start of the Tekkit Legends Challenge. I was going to do that throughout the month of August, but I got behind, quite frankly got exhausted, and I decided I needed a bit of a break. I needed some time off. So, I say time off. I'm still doing a video every day, but, I'm stepping back from the double video thing. And I was trying to figure out how to progress with Tekkit Legends during this time, because before, Tekkit Legends was coming out every day, and it was supplemental. There was something else coming out alongside it. There was a Satisfactory, an Assassin's Creed, a Sky Factory. There was something else coming out with it. It wasn't by itself. And that's how I sort of justified releasing these 25-minute rambling stream of consciousness videos, which some people have liked. I've received your comment there, kind person in the past, who told me that you liked the rambling stream of consciousness. But I was like, well, how is this going to stand up on its own? If this video comes out by itself on a Monday or something, how is it going to be? So I juggled around some ideas. I could do it like a more traditional video, where I, have a goal, I go through the goal, cut it down, cut out the bits where I'm not talking or whatever, focus on sort of the main pillars of progression. Or I could just tack on an extra 5 minutes and make it 30 minutes long. That's the one that I went with today. But I don't know if that's going to work long term. I'd actually be interested in hearing you folks sound off in the comments what you would rather see. This is great. Would you like to see sort of these continued stream of consciousness videos where it is just me sort of talking? Or would you like to see a more trimmed down, professional, and I'd say more classic style of video? Depending on which one of those options you lean toward, comment down below and let me know. And I don't know, maybe we can go back and forth. We can do different episodes in different styles. So if you're not sure what style fits your preferences, we can try a different one in the next video and it'll be fine. Also, how sad is it that I'm just used to that now? This is just something I'm used to. I've just adapted to it at this point, the struggle that I've had to deal with here. Also, you notice it doesn't happen every time? If you don't leave the menu... Oh, well, never mind. I was going to say, if you take it over to one of the corners and open it, it doesn't change. But no, it definitely does. It is just inconsistent. Oh, well, that's the pause button. Today, We have got, look at this, I've done all this rambling and we still have 25 minutes left. How great is that? We're going to continue to do the cleanup back here. We're going to get rid of this nonsense that is taking up space back here by the power grid. All of this was constructed for the automation of breaking down materials from our quarries, which have all but disappeared. I mean, you can't even tell they used to be here. That's crazy. There used to be a massive hole there, and there, and it's all gone now. It's been replaced by gigantic trees. We theorized before that they went out and bought those wholly formed. We don't know that for a fact, but that's our theory. So we need to clean all of this up, and then we need to build some stables. And I'm not sure where we're going to build the stables. Kind of makes sense to me to have them right outside of the front gate here, where, you know, if you ride into town, you can leave your horses here, you can pay the stable boy, like a gold piece. That's a lot, actually. Maybe just like a copper piece, and he'll brush it down and give it some hay. But really, because he's the only stable boy in town, there's no competition, so he can kind of charge whatever he wants to. I mean, I guess we could do that, or it could be like a government-run stable, so it'll be like really horribly inefficient. Kind of like if you go to the DMV and everyone's just like very slowly doing their job because there's no real pressure to perform well, and they're not going to get fired if they're real bad at it. Because, I mean, what other DMV is there? You don't have a choice. Privatize the DMV. That's all I'm saying. That's all. I'm just throwing that out there. All right. What happened to that piece of red matter that I just broke? Where did it go? What the heck? Honestly, though, what happened to it? It's just gone. Did it get absorbed into something? Oh my gosh, that was wild. Anyway, I figure we'll have a stable here. And we'll put the horses in there, the horses in the back. Or, I don't know, should we put it like over here somewhere? I don't know where to put the stable. I've got no idea. We got to get the horses out of here, though. They're in a netherrack fence with just random bits of red matter. It's not a good setup. It's definitely not a good setup. We can do better, and we will do better. Then we need to move all of that stuff. Where am I going to move it to? I think I need to have my own house out here. We've got the resources for it. Maybe I should build myself a... What? Oh, it's a mushroom. You see the mushroom in the right side of the screen? When I flicked my thing around, it like vanished, and I thought like there was some sort of red balloon over there or something. Some kind of killer clown out to get me. I need to build my own house. Probably not in the village, maybe just outside. Maybe I can have some sort of a wizard's tower, like right over here in this nice, lovely field. The great thing about building right here is if I want to have a basement, boom, I've got a basement. Actually, that'd be kind of cool. If I converted this in here to like a wizard's tower. Oh, I like this idea. Does mean I need to get rid of this over here, though. I kind of regret filling this in now from that one time we filled it in. And I'm going to have to fill in the floor. That might work for a more traditional style episode. I think that now we can get creative and have some fun with how we shoot these. You know? They don't have to be straight linear anymore because there's no longer really the challenge. The challenge doesn't exist anymore. So I can kind of make the episode however I want. So we'll make this episode more of like a plotting and planning over 30 minutes episode. And the next episode, maybe we can do like a let's build. And the cool thing is we've reached the point in the game where we're basically in creative mode. You know, we have creative flight, and I've got so much EMC, not just here, but inside of here, just an absurd amount of EMC, that I can kind of build the base any way I want to out of anything that I want to. You know, like what kind of blocks do we want to build the base out of? Oh, you know what would be sick is if we used basalt, and then we took out the rest of that volcano. That would be awesome. I mean, basalt doesn't have an EMC value. That's why I'm thinking it would be cool, because it means that we have to actually go out and manually mine up an entire volcano, which could take a really long time, unless we just like go straight through the bottom of it. Watch what I'm thinking here. This is sort of a majestic volcano, though, at this point. I think it looks even cooler now than it used to. Now that it's got this giant hole inside of it, so maybe we don't want to Shrek with it. It's kind of like a natural landmark. You know, when the village isn't getting tourists during the winter months for the big Christmas celebration, which is where they get a lot of their revenue. In the summer, they advertise the volcano. Bring your family. Bring your kids. It's the adventure of a lifetime. Scale our epic volcano. Try not to fall into the lava and burn to death. It's an adventure for kids of all ages. Bring your grandma. She'll love it. We have wheelchairs. Push her up the volcano and maybe she accidentally falls in and she's not your problem anymore. Come on, it'll be fun. Volcano Town. I'm just throwing out ideas here. I want to see the city be successful year-round, not just during the winter months. Okay, so that's the plan. We'll leave the volcano there. Maybe we'll build a road to the volcano, and we'll have like a ramp you can walk on and observe the volcano, and that can be like a summer attraction. We will put our stables right over here, and then we will put our castle right over here. I got to determine where the middle of this is, though, and I'm not really sure if there's a device for like determining that super easily. Is there? Do we have like a tape measure? We don't, but we do have a tape, a cassette tape, length 128 minutes. What would you do with these? Oh, they're for computer computronics. I've never used this mod before. I guess it's sort of like the old computer craft. So these probably aren't audio cassette tapes. These are like for storing data and programs. So we could make Pong, I would bet, inside of here. I don't want to make a Pong. It's not something I'm interested in. What is this? You have no quests. Friendly 2000. I don't know what that's all about. So we can't measure. What we can do is we can grab, I guess, glowstone. So let's get out of this menu. Open this one up. Grab stacks of glowstone. We're just going to have to count it out, aren't we? So if we put one in this corner, and then we go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see where I'm going with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I doing? Wait, hold on. I've already forgotten. Am I doing spaces of 4 in between or spaces of 5 in between? I'm going 4 and then placing them down. Oh, this thing is really wide. This is very wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. All right, no, this is fine. I can make this work. How do I determine what the... All right, so now we can count more easily. Starting from here, that is... Wait, no, what was my plan? What was I doing with... I'll figure this out later. This doesn't matter. The reason I need to find the middle of the room... Oh my goodness. Okay, the reason I need to find the middle of the room is because I got to determine where up here we're going to be building our tower. I can't figure out why I did it like this. I don't know what my original plan... Oh, you know what I was going to do? For some reason, I was just assuming that it would be like an even spacing over here. We could go to 5, and I could figure out which one was in the middle. I guess we kind of can. Hold on a minute. So we'll do that. So 5. There we go. And then we can count to the center. So we can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so number 6 should be in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. The issue is it's not perfectly centered because there's one that has to go on the wall there. So this isn't actually in the middle. It's kind of it's off to one side. There's an even number of blocks. There's not an odd number of blocks. So that's not perfectly in the middle. And the way that we would deal with that is we have 2. That's the middle. The 2 blocks there represent the middle. And we can get rid of the rest of the glowstone if we wanted to. Which means that up top, that's fine. That's fine. Up top, we can have like a double door instead of like a single door in the center. And it'll work because the center is not... There's not a single... Am I making any sense? Am I saying words that make sense to you folks? Am I just yammering? Can y'all, by the way, see... I noticed something recently. We replaced the capture PC. I rebuilt it from the ground up with a whole new one. And I thought I had all my settings set the same, but I noticed when I went to edit, sometimes the world is just absurdly dark, and it's hard to see, even though I can see just fine on my end. So for instance, if we go to this deep dark corner over here, I can see just fine, but I don't know what that footage looks like for you folks. Like right in front of me, I can see this bedrock block. Can you? This one right up here? I'm not sure. Feedback is always welcome. I have to... Sorry about that. Allergens. Allergens are real bad. But yeah, I'm going to have to continue to try to dial in the settings on the capture PC. So that's sort of our middle there. Now we need to get our middle here. And we're going to do basically the same thing. We're going to go... But we're going to do it a bit differently. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to zoom over to this side and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our middle block. So, well, that looked a bit suggestive. This block here is centered on a single block instead of double. So maybe we can make the building sort of oblong to accommodate for that. We need to create a cross section now. This is how I do my building. If you folks have ever seen me build something in a Let's Build, because I've done quite a few of those in my time, and you've wondered, well, geez, I wonder what process Reese goes through to build these buildings. It's this. It's counting blocks and putting down glowstone. Not always glowstone. Glowstone's good because it glows. You can see it in the dark. It kind of makes the whole process a little bit easier. Oh my gosh, these chickens and their ticking sounds. All right. This is our center right here. We've got it. So above this is where we want to have our center up there. Right? This is all lined up. Awesome. So now we want to stand like right here on top of it. I don't know. There's probably better ways of doing this. This is just the way that I've always done it. So we're going to go straight up. And boop. Boop. There we go. Now we know where to build our tower. We're going to just drop down, make sure we land on this block, and we do. And so now we want to build everything around that. That's going to be our direct center. And then I think it'd be cool if we built a nice little humble tower up on the surface. And then underneath we have a gigantic... You know what this is starting to feel like? This is starting to remind me of my Tekkit Classic series. Remember in Tekkit Classic when I had that massive underground secret layer? Yeah, that's basically what we're doing here. So, I know I talked about using basalt, but what does that even look like? And how many volcanoes am I going to have to run off? And oh, abyssal stone. That must be what the volcanoes are made of. Because remember, we got a lot of this stuff when we broke down a volcano previously. So what are my uses here? What can I do with this? If I smelt it, I can get an abyssal block, which also, unfortunately, does not have an EMC value, I'm noticing. That's disappointing. The abyssal block can then be used to create stairs, stones. Maybe underground we could have that, and then above ground we can make it look like a not evil base, you know? So we could get something like just regular old stone, maybe mossy stone. Mossy stone sounds pretty wizardy, but unfortunately you can't get mossy stone stairs unless you use a saw. Well, I guess we could use a saw then. Yeah, that pretty much takes care of that entire problem. But it's a hassle. And what kind of wizard lets a building get mossy? I certainly don't. Wait, was that a mossy stone brick? Mossy stone brick. These are the same. 98.1, 98.1. Why does it appear twice? That's odd. Let's just grab some regular stones. Let's move on. Let's just move on. And let's start work on the tower. So like I said, modest tower. Small, modest tower. We want to make sure that we leave that hole there so that we never forget what our center is. We'll fill it in later. How are we supposed to get access to down there? Are we going to have a staircase? I mean, obviously we can fly. But what if we're in a situation where we can't fly for some reason? We die, we lose our ring, something disastrous happens. We need to have some sort of staircase or something to get back down here with. Are we gonna... Oh my gosh, these chickens. I'm gonna leave them. I'm fine with them being down here. I mean, they could be Mother Clucker's chickens, but I don't know about that. I don't think anyone knows that I'm doing this. I certainly haven't talked to Ralphius Aerith about any of this. Or maybe I should. Maybe I should see if I can get Buttercup here to keep an eye on things in this town, because this town is wild, and we haven't seen Buttercup in a while, so it'd be nice to see him again. Last time we saw him, I had him guarding a village in Sevtech Ages. I sure hope he's not still doing that. So like I say, tiny tower, like a comically small building. Let's get some doors. I'm starting to like the sound of this. Oh, no, hold on. Let's do carpenter's doors so we can disguise them or make them look however we want. And so we'll have the front entrance be right up here at the front where you would normally put a front entrance. And we will have the doors be like right there. Sure? Yeah, sure. That looks good to me. And then let's pick a wood type. So we'll see what we have in terms of planks. Should we do like a bright... Let's do bright colors. Let's do bright colors because, again, this is a warm, welcoming environment. Yes, this is so good. Okay, this isn't like an evil wizard's tower or anything like that. This is just a nice little place that I got on the edge of town. And, you know, school kids are more than welcome to come by and give it a tour between the hours of 2 and 6 on the 30th of February every year. Now, some of you may have noticed that there's a problem with that, but what you don't realize is that the problem was actually a solution to a different problem, which is we don't want children touring this place. How do we prevent it? we allow them to come in on days that don't exist. That's how. So we can advertise that in the town. All the school kids can get excited, and they'll keep waiting for the 30th of February, and it'll never happen, and they'll never get to come tour the place. But at the same time, they'll never learn our deep, dark secrets, which is the end goal. At the end of the day, we don't want them touring the facility because they might find out what we've been doing here. What have we been doing here? I don't know. We're not bad guys. We're not like Mayor Dave Davidson in there and his Russians and robots. Nothing like that. Nothing bad happening. We're just doing questionable experiments on the chickens. We're determining what happens when you put radioactive material in a chicken's food. What does it start glowing? Does the radioactive chicken start glowing, and does it lay radioactive eggs? Can you use the radioactive eggs to power a nuclear fusion reactor? Potentially. We don't know. That's the reason we're doing the experiments. We got to do the experiments to find out what happens when you do the experiments. That's not the worst. Obviously, it's probably frowned upon to give any type of animal radiation as part of their diet, which is why we got to keep it secret and underground, and we can't let the school kids tour, because school kids are notorious for caring about animals and worrying about their safety, and we can't have that. Why do I have 2 things of glowstone? There we go. A little bit of a shift right-click into the doors there. Yeah, that'll keep the inside lit up with no torches. It'll be amazing. All right, now we want to somehow turn this into a little comically small tower. I didn't think this through all that well. What if it's just this, right? What if this is the towers? Yes! Yes! I love it! All right, let's get some more stone bricks, and let's get a few stacks of them. This is good. If we could get little people to stand on top of these towers, too, and I do mean petite little people, to watch, keep guard, that would be fantastic. I'll pay that's what I'll do. I'll hire some of the local kids to just stand on top of the towers for me. And they're like, "Can we come into the building?" I'll be like, "No, not if you want to get paid. Just stand on top of the tower and keep a lookout." I'll give them a little bell they can ring, if they see someone approaching. I don't know why this seems so nefarious. Everything I'm saying just sounds super nefarious. I don't mean for it to. Should we not hire child labor workers? Probably not. Especially not considering, they might accidentally ingest the nuclear eggs, because kids are notorious for loving to eat eggs and not asking permission. I mean, do you know how many children die each year from eating nuclear eggs that their parents could have just, stored someplace else and they wouldn't have this issue? We need some glass for this thing. What kind of glass do we want to use? What are our glass options? I kind of want to use a light blue. Yeah, I like blue. Maybe light blue stained glass. What was this? This was white. It looked blue to me, I think because we're looking at the sky in the background shining through it. Sort of like this one here. Although, I think it's because this one is see-through. You can tell that it's see-through and not blue, whereas this one is slightly opaque, and the blue shining through the opaque makes it look blue. I don't know. I'm just saying nonsense. We need to get some light blue dye. I think I know how to do that. I think it's lapis, and I think that it is bone meal, and I think that I've done this not that long ago in a different thing. Maybe Sky Factory 4? Yeah, light blue dye. And we'll get a stack of that along with some glass, although there's no need to do this because we're just going to, create more with EMC. So really we just need those 8, and they do have an EMC value. And we can get just like an infinite amount of them now. Do we want to... Oh, I accidentally unlearned them. I didn't mean to do that. I think it's good, though. I think we're fine, yeah. Do we want to turn them into panes? Or do we want to use them as whole blocks? Connected textures, I see, are not working. They come and they go, the connected textures. I don't know what's going on with them. Let's see what it looks like with the panes instead. Panes will not have an EMC value because that's how panes work. But if we go to the other side and we put those down... Nah. Also, how tall do we want to make them? I guess it comes down to how tall are these towers going to be. Probably no taller than that. Right? So... if we make them that tall, we can bring this across here. But I kind of thought that... No, yeah, I like that. We'll do that. We're going to get rid of the blocks, though. We're not going to use the blocks. So we'll break those. Adios, blockos. And I accidentally broke the wall over here. That's the problem with this tool. It's too powerful. No man should wield this much power, this much glass-breaking power. And there we go. Cool, so that part's done. And now we can get our stairs out, and we can start adding a little bit of character to the whole place. Like so. I haven't thought this through at all, by the way, so if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, well, geez, Reese, this is terrible. You're probably not wrong, and your thinking might be in the majority. But keep in mind that just because your thinking is aligned with the majority of thinking on a subject doesn't mean that it's right, because sometimes lots of people can be wrong. Like, look at the Salem witch trials. What happens when a bunch of people decide that someone is a witch when they're definitely not? Bad things. Alright, groupthink is not best think. Be an individual. That's the moral for today. Should I maybe encase this in here like that? And down here like this? Yeah, I kind of like the look of that. Let's do that. And maybe over here on the front too. We're definitely going to need to do something on the front, because it looks a bit silly. That looks solid though, and I guess we'll take these up one more time. There we go. Oh, I gotta have a roof on this thing. Or is it going to be open to the elements? It's definitely not going to be open to the elements, because then whoever we hire to get up here and keep an eye on things is going to be able to look down into the base. Speaking of which, we need to have something right down here. Oh, should we fill these? I don't think zombies will spawn in those holes, but I feel like we should fill them up anyway, just to be sure. And then we can put a glowstone on top. And that way it'll put like some light out into the sky at night. It'll look cool. The people in the nearby village can look at it and be like, oh my gosh, we've got such a cool wizard living out there. Am I a wizard? Thank you, by the way, for the feedback on what witches, wizards, mages, and all of that are. I appreciated it. That was helpful. So I guess I'm going to be a wizard, because I wasn't born with magic power. I'm certainly trying to learn it. And I'm going to be using it for the betterment of mankind. That's my stance on all of this. That looks dumb. That was not intentional. Okay, there we are. I don't know if that's necessary. I feel like that is too cluttered now, and also this doesn't look good either. How am I gonna do this? Do we have stairs? Hold on, let me check the carpenter's blocks here for a second. Carpenter's, is there a post? There is. Okay, carpenter's barrier. So we're gonna need carpenter's blocks and sticks. Let's do that. We should have not carpenter's sticks, mind you, just regular sticks. Carpenter sticks are unfortunately not a thing, and I say unfortunately, but I really don't know what you would do with them. What would be the benefit of taking a regular stick and making it look like something else when you just don't ever use sticks? You, right? You don't use them. They just get used in other recipes. Unless, like, you were building a sword and you made the carpenter's stick look like something else, like a dirt, and then that carried over and made the sword look like it had a dirt handle. Maybe then that would be cool, but I don't know. I think maybe something like that. And then we could put, does that look better? I kind of like it. But does it need to go all the way, like, down over here? Not too sure about that. Not too sure. I'm going to let you guys give me some feedback on that. We can light these up, though. Nice. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Or maybe, if we took out these on the side, if we got rid of these, we can pretend like that's the, what is it called? A portcullis? Is that what it's called? Is that what the metal grate is called? Or am I thinking of something else? The port that drops down, during times of siege? Yeah, that's what that is. So it's being held up in the roof right now. I think it's called a portcullis. If I'm wrong, well, we'll be corrected, won't I? It's just sort of is hovering up there right now. It's not in use. It doesn't completely retract, though. And it can be dropped down. Oh, well, I guess if that's what it is, it should probably be made out of iron, actually. So let's grab some iron blocks. We'll see what that looks like instead. I'm sure there's a way to remove things from these other than just breaking them, but I don't know what that method would be. What happened to that block? Oh, wow. Look at that. The double doors open up in sync. Oh, it is so good. Okay. Need to patch that hole up with our birch wood. Put these back down. And I might end up hating the way these look with iron blocks. No, you know what? It's good. I like it. Okay, so we got that done, and we'll do the same things over here. And I need to go blow my nose after this episode, because allergies. Allergies are really taking off right now. It's a big time in America for allergies. In Southeast Texas, as summer is dying and fall is quickly approaching, allergies are taking off like crazy. The final step is going to be the roof. And what are we going to build the roof out of? I think we should build it out of slabs. Potentially. You know what we can do is, there's probably carpenter slabs. I haven't checked. I don't see any. Oh, well, that's the end of the episode. But, darn it, what do? Do I stop? Let's find out if we can make carpenter slabs. If we can make carpenter slabs. No? I can make this. Carpenter's pressure plate. Why can't you make a carpenter half block? What are my options over here? Carpenter's daylight sensor? Carpenter's ladder? What? Carpenter's door? But this is carpenter's door. You're a lie is what you are. A carpenter's tile? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Doesn't look like that's what I'm thinking of. Oh well. Carpentry bench. I guess we're done for today. Carpenter's collapsible block. What does that do? Thank you folks for watching. God bless you. And I will see you later. I'm just looking through here, making sure that I'm not missing something. Wonder if either of these would have anything to do with it. Okay. Thank you folks for watching. God bless you. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye!